guys, today we are showing you how to make a low carb peanut butter and jelly cheesecake, and we're showing you the 7-mile hike we took to walk it off, all while having a whole lot of fun. I'll tell you what, this is a lot of work, especially in a small confined space, and I would only do this for cheesecake. Welcome back to my camper kitchen. I am here. Mikey's out running getting dinner. I have been promising this cheesecake to my camper crew for 2 days now. We went on a hike the other day, which we thought was going to be a 5-mile hike, and ended up being a 7-mile hike. And Mikey will have to put the state park that we went to down here because I don't know how to pronounce it, and I can never remember even how to spell it to even begin to try and pronounce it. But it was a wonderful park that is actually known for the falls, but we went there because there was what we thought was going to be a 5-mile hike that we could get out and we could take Octavius with us and get some exercise and just kind of explore the Texas hill country here in Dripping Springs before we left. Or before we leave. Here we're getting ready to leave tomorrow, actually, when this is recorded. So I had promised my gang that when we got back, I had found a low-carb peanut butter cookie crusted cheesecake according to the cookbook, which I'll show you here in a minute when I can lift all this stuff up. And I was going to attempt to drizzle it with some sugar-free jelly too, to make it like a peanut butter jelly cheesecake, which our family is very big fans of those kinds of flavors. So you could, just make it with the peanut butter cookie crust. You could make a plain cookie crust. We can talk about that here in a minute. Or you can do it the way we're doing it. Also, if you're not eating low carb, anytime I talk about a sugar substitute, just use sugar and you can make it as high carb as you want. So, but anyhow, we went on this hike and I promised them this, but the hike, as you will soon see, turned into a much bigger ordeal or hike than what we thought, and we got home much later, and cheesecake takes a little while to cook anyways. So we're going to so I've been promising them, I'm finally getting around to it today, and we're going to show you what we did that day as my excuse as to why they haven't seen that. So let's get to the recipe first of all. So like I said, I am taking a recipe from Low Carb Essentials, which is by George Stella. And I will tell you, when I first started eating low carb, George Stella's cookbook were like a lifesaver for me. They really helped me kind of learn some of the basics, and so I am forever indebted. If you are trying to eat this lifestyle and you're trying to figure out how to cook, I highly recommend all of his cookbooks. I think I have almost all of them. Octavius apparently has got the sniffles. Are you okay, puppy? Can you be quiet while we finish, please? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, which his is an oven recipe, and I'm sure it's wonderful the way that he has it explained, but stop. I'm sure it's wonderful the way that he has it explained, but it does look a little overwhelming and complicated, so we're going to try and simplify some of that. We're also going to cook this. I swear he doesn't do that until I start talking. Are you done? Would you like a dingo? Would a dingo make you get over the sniffles?
I got an idea.
Can you get him? Are you going to take him for a walk?
Or I could take him into the...
I don't think he'll stay in there. Why don't you?
I'll keep him there.
I think he wants to go for a walk. Look at him. Take him for a walk. So we're going to do a couple things today. One, I'm going to adapt it for my Instant Pot Gem, which is a multi-cooker, not a pressure cooker. And so a lot of the multi-cookers like Ninjas and those kinds of things have a bake feature on them. And so we're going to test out the bake feature on our Instant Pot Gem. Now, if you want to do this in the crock pot, like a traditional crock pot, I will link down below to our traditional Crockpot cheesecake, and you can use the ingredients from this cheesecake and just follow the methods of that one, and you should be able to make it in the Crockpot, no problem. But today, I have had several of you ask me about the other features on the Instant Pot Gem, and I told one of the Crock Posse members, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name, I told him, I said, hey, you know what, we'll use the bake feature on an upcoming show, and so here we go with the cheesecake. Alrighty, so first and foremost, we have the crust, which has already been cooking in here. It's been cooking on bake at 350 for 10 minutes. And the crust is a combination of 1 1/2 cups almond flour, 4 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 large egg beaten, 3 tablespoons of natural peanut butter or peanut butter that doesn't have sugar in it, if you're eating that way, and then 3 tablespoons of sugar or sugar substitute. And our sugar substitute of choice is sucrin. I know somebody thought I said saccharin a while back. No, sucrin is, it's actually erythritol, I can't say, and stevia mixed together. So you can use Splenda if that's easier for you. If that's this is, we just like the flavor of this. We order it online in bulk. So that's what. So what we did is we mixed that all together and we pressed that down into the bottom of our Instant Pot Gem or any kind of multi-cooker that has a baking feature. Now, it wasn't easy to do with our fingers. So George had mentioned to use like plastic wrap to spread it out. Like you lay the big ball of dough in there and then you put plastic wrap over it so you can smooth out the dough. I actually used parchment paper because that's what I had in our camper kitchen because I used this to do a lot of baking and cooking. So it made it real easy. I smoothed it out. One thing I don't think he mentioned, but I needed to do in the Instant Pot Gem is poke holes in the dough because it started to bake up in the center. I cooked it on 350 for about 10 minutes just to kind of get it a little bit cooked before we start adding everything else to it. So that's what I've done ahead of time, and that's what's in here waiting on us, our peanut butter cookie crust, so to speak, to add our ingredients, or our cheesecake to it, the cheesecake part. And the cheesecake part is simply 1 1/2 cups sugar or sugar substitute in here. And then we've got 3 8-ounce bricks of cream cheese that have been softened. So I've just been letting them set out while I've been getting everything ready. So there we go. So we've got those 3, and then I believe, and then we have a cup of ricotta. And one of the tips that I have seen in George's other books, I don't think it mentioned it here, is to take your ricotta cheese, and this is full fat ricotta, and to put it in your food processor and pulse and pulse and pulse until it becomes smooth, a lot like sour cream. Now mine's a lot smoother, but it isn't nowhere near like sour cream. I will show you that maybe if I can bring it up to the camera so you can see how it's a lot smoother than it was originally in there. But that just smooths it out to give it a better texture. And so put that there, and then you add that to this bowl. So what we're going to do here in just a minute, and I realized I didn't bring it in here, so we're going to get a hand mixer and mix all of these creamy ingredients with the sugar substitute, or sugar if that's what you're using. Okay. And I've got a mess. I just spent all this time cleaning up this kitchen. I'm making a whole big mess all over again. Alright, I have my mixer in the back. Sometime I'm going to have to show you a tour of what the back there looks like, because we've got it all organized for all the cooking show stuff. But let me go grab my mixer, then I'm going to come back and we're going to mix this for a minute. Probably Mikey will fast forward all this, so this will be nice and creamy here in a minute before we add the other ingredients. Good heavens, how does this come off? Oh, there it goes. Now we just mix this up, low speed to begin with. I will say, while I love my little food processor that we have in the camper, I am missing my stand mixer right now. Okay, that is some thick filling. Okay, so that's the main part of our cheesecake. Now we're going to go and we're going to get the droppings of cheesecake off of me. Good heavens. Okay. So next, in a separate bowl, we have 3 egg yolks and 2 large eggs. And to that, I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of heavy cream. Okay. And we're going to add a tablespoon, whoops, oh my, a tablespoon of vanilla. And George calls for fresh lemon juice. Well, I don't have fresh lemons, but I have the you know, the pre-bottled stuff that I'm going to use because that just is easier to keep on hand. Okay? So we've got the lemon juice, and then I'm going to add something to this because I used the sucrin, which it had the I can never say that wrong. Erythritol has kind of a little cooling effect sometimes in it. A lot of times people like to use liquid stevia to kind of offset that a little bit. So I'm just going to add, this is vanilla cream flavor. So I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons of the Sweet Drops liquid stevia to kind of offset all that erythritol. You know the word that I'm saying. You may not know. If you're using Splenda, you don't need to do this. If you're using real sugar, you don't need to do this. I think Swerve is, I don't know if it's the same or not. I don't know. To be honest, I just found one that I liked, so I stopped searching. Okay, so we're going to do 2 teaspoons for the entire cake. Next, it wants us to whisk all of these ingredients. I'm not going to put that on that because I want to keep those beaters there. I'm going to whisk this together. I'll tell you what, this is a lot of work, especially in a small confined space, and I would only do this for cheesecake. We love cheesecake. And cheesecake is one of those desserts that is pretty easy to make into a lower carb dessert. Okay, so now we're going to mix these 2 things together until blended. I'm just going to dump that like that. Okay. Maybe I can talk Mikey into doing my dishes for me after putting all this together. I'm going to leave that there for a minute. I'm going to scrape down the sides. I do this in my stand mixer too, but it's especially important with my hand mixer because my sides are all kinds of messy. Okay, I think we're good. There we go. Okay, so let's look real quick. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn this baking back onto 350, and I'm going to set it for an hour. You just hit the bake button, and I'm going to check it at an hour to see. He does different here because he's using a real oven and not an instant pot or another kind of multi-cooker. Okay, so we're going to test that. Like I said, if you're doing this in a regular slow cooker, just follow my cheese. This has a lot of similar type ingredients, not exactly the same, I'm looking for a place to put my lid. Okay, there we go. It has a lot of similar ingredients, so I think it would cook very similarly. And I will tell you, in a slow cooker cheesecake, I've cooked a lot. I love cheesecake in a slow cooker. It just kind of simplifies it. No need for water baths or springform pans and all that jazz. So my point is, just follow, if you want to eat this cheesecake, just follow those instructions with these ingredients. Okay, so we are gonna pour our batter in here. This looks so yummy, guys. Gonna get all the yummy filling in here. We're gonna check it in an hour. By the time you see this, there'll be a blog post that has all the instructions written out, so you're not guessing like I am right now. Okay. So you just want to smooth out the top, and that looks like a beautiful cheesecake right there. Okay. Now we're going to put the lid on, and we're going to let it bake. It's going to it waits until it hits 350, and then it starts baking. So it's going to bake for an hour. We're probably going to have to cook it for at least another half hour. And then we're going to have to let it cool. So then I'm going to take it out of the pan and maybe set it on a rack so that it will cool off. And then it will be time to drizzle on the jelly and have a yummy peanut butter and jelly cheesecake. It may not taste peanut butter and jelly, but regardless, it's going to be low carb. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys, because some people ask me for carb counts. I usually just don't give them, because it really depends on the specific ingredients, like the specific peanut butter and those kinds of things. But according to this, this would be without any kind of jelly on top. 1/12 of this cheesecake is 7 net carbs. So it definitely is a treat. It's not an everyday kind of thing. But as you will soon see, as we wait for this to cook, we definitely worked it off when we went on our adventure in the Texas Hill Country. So I'm going to count to 3, and Mikey's going to show you that fun hike that we had. 1, 2, 3.
So it took us like what, 15 minutes to get here?
Yes.
It's taken us a half hour just to figure out where to go when we get here. My expert cartographer over here is trying to figure out the map.
See, I bet we're here. I bet you should have went this way, and you went this way, because this is the dead end.
Well, you know, you're the one holding the map.
Well, the one holding the map is telling you you went the wrong way.
Hey.
Hey, I bet that guy in the green vest could tell you how to get to 3, to the scenic overlook.
Hi. The 5.5 mile loop, the scenic overlook trail.
That accesses from the campground.
That's from, so go to the campground.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed. Thank you, fellas. Appreciate it. We're going to the campground now.
Oh, I see why he says that now. Because the scenic overlook isn't until like at the end of the loop or in the middle of the loop.
Ah.
So we get on over here, because the little gray road is a requirement to get to the little red dots. So we gotta go all the way. We made a wrong turn somewhere.
Oh, ack. So we're guessing the reason is this is a 6-mile trail instead of a 5.5-mile trail. Is the first half mile is parking in the front of a big RV park. Then at the back of the RV park is where you start the trail. So you got to cross the river to finish the trail, or even
get started.
Yeah, we haven't even really got started yet. And
so I think we're gonna be taking our shoes off.
you know what? If you want to go on a journey, sometimes you got to get your feet wet. This cactus is everywhere down here. Don't get into it. And if anybody's about to ask, no, I haven't gotten into it yet.
What happened?
I leaned in to get a pretty picture.
A picture.
That's what you got.
I leaned in to get a pretty picture of a cactus, and the other cactus next to it bit me.
He was a decoy, huh?
Where did I get bit by the cactus?
In the leg, I'll live.
Yeah, good boy.
So you get to the halfway point of the trail. It's a big old loop. And your reward for getting to the halfway point is that. That is gorgeous. Hill country, y'all.
Yeah, Mom.
So what do you guys think so far?
Really cool.
It's good. Nice. Aki's resting. Aren't you, puppy? He's like, what, me? I'm a pro at this.
Yeah, he's taking it a lot better than I thought he would. This is the longest he's ever went on a walk for, so. And we're about halfway done. I would imagine by the end of it, one of us is going to be carrying him. Coming up the trail, it's like there's just nothing. I mean, it's not that there's nothing much to see. I mean, the trees are beautiful, and there's cactus, and every once in a while you see some wildlife. But it's when you get up to the top of it and see this overlook is what makes it worth it. Yeah. Then it's really good exercise too.
It's different. Every part of the trail was a little different.
Yeah.
It just wasn't as picturesque, so we weren't doing as much footage, I don't think, is what we normally do. But it's still a lot of fun. It's get out and adventure.
It's a gorgeous day. It's like mid-60s out here right now. No rain till tomorrow. So it was just the perfect day to come do something like this.
Break time's over.
Okay. Aki, you want to go? You want to go? Oh.
Say break time's over.
Here we go.
And Miss Ad wants to try and carry him for a little while, so we're going to let her.
What do you think, buddy?
But we're going to give him a little break because he's not used to taking so many miles, and he's been going uphill. We don't want his joints hurting him.
No, we got a whole bunch more hiking to do, so.
Yep.
You ready?
Gotta pace him. All right,
Here's
let's
the thing.
go, kiddo.
When he gets done, I'm next.
Are you ready, baby?
No.
Let's go.
Go.
Now don't swing him. Aki's like, boy, this mule ain't as smooth as the last one.
We reached the end of the loop.
Not the end of the loop. The end of one of the loops.
Oh, the end of one of the. We're not. Yeah, we're definitely not at the end of the trail yet. 6 miles is a long way.
Wait, okay. And that is the way we went. Somehow, we came back the way. We didn't come back that way.
Because we didn't come over to this side. We went over here.
No, we
It would be embarrassing to get this far and realize we're lost.
We went here, and then we chose not to go here. We went over here to the overlook, and we came around to here, and now we're right here. And then we go over this way. So let's go.
Did we go that way?
No. Mom, we were on the other side. You're like on the complete other side.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We haven't got back to a place where we were yet.
Yeah.
This is still,
Let's go.
I don't know what that is.
That's probably to,
Hey, Scarecrow.
that's probably to over there.
To over there.
Is that path? That path over there is to over there.
No, I mean.
Oh my gosh, you're the best tour guide ever.
I mean, it's to right here. It's probably
Okay,
over here.
so we're here.
Wait, no. Probably like here somewhere. I don't know.
Here.
Let's just get going.
So that's Trammell.
Yes, this is Trammell. Let's go.
Are we sure?
Pretty sure.
If you're wrong, you're carrying us both back. Here's your overlook here.
Right.
So we came up here, shot off the overlook, came back this way around the fence line. Here's the fence line of that farm. And then we came down here, then we went, there's a sign, we went yay. And then we came down and we're here. So we need to go towards the right that way and it takes us back.
Yeah.
Addie, you were right.
Yes! Woo!
Watch it. What was that?
He threw a rock.
Well, boy, y'all jumped. All right, back across the creek we go. We're almost there.
Turn that off. My makeshift cooling rack back there. Our instant pot gem or multi-cooker cheesecake is done. It took about an hour for me. I figured it would probably get done quicker than like an oven version cheesecake because we are using the bake feature on this. It's much simpler to make it in your multi-cooker because you don't have to worry about the water bath. And in the multi-cooker, the cheesecake is already kind of pulling away from the sides. If you had wanted to, you could have put an aluminum foil sling in this, like lined it with aluminum foil so you could actually lift it out. That's what we do with our Crockpot version. Like I said, an hour on the bake feature. Had it where it had cooked and was, it wasn't like soupy in the middle. So then I took it out of the unit. I set it outside first to cool, but then it started raining. So I brought it back in here and I opened up my oven and pulled out the rack a little bit and set it there so that the bottom could cool down. I actually turned a fan on the bottom of it because we want cheesecake, darn it. So now it is nice and solid. It's going to get even better once it makes its way to the refrigerator, but it's now in the sliceable state. So in order to make this peanut butter and jelly style, we are going, because we have our peanut butter cookie crust like George's cookbook called for. Now I took a 1/4 of a cup of red raspberry preserves because we kind of are raspberry jelly fans around here. You could use sugar. It's sugar free. You could use sugar free grape jelly. That would be also good. I don't have any of that because my family likes all the different. We've got sugar free strawberry. And then I think we even have peach in the sugar free peach in the refrigerator. Strawberry looks like it's about 1 carb per tablespoon. Raspberry is about 2 carbs per tablespoon. So you want to be careful and not put tons and tons on there. So that's why I took a 1/4 of a cup for the entire 12 portions. I'm going to melt it in the microwave and drizzle it over the top of my cheesecake. So I just took a 1/4 of a cup, put it in a coffee mug. Going to put the coffee mug in there and going to put it on for 30 seconds to see if that melts it good for me. And then you're going to have to wait just a second, just like my family does, because I need a pretty picture of this before I go diving into it and eating it and tasting it. So I've got my camera in here. Ah, yeah. That's nice and warm and drizzly. Cool for a minute. I'm going to get my camera ready. Everybody's eyes are peeking around the corner now. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm trying to figure all this out. Part of that hopefully was cut out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drizzle this raspberry sauce on top, and then I'm going to need to take a brief break to go take some photographs of it before coming back and taste testing it. So here we go. I'm going to drizzle my raspberry sauce over the top. Oh yeah. pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I think I might even try and spread that out a little bit if I can. Spread it out. It's just a nice thin layer of raspberry on top. You could always put more if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Fourth of a cup is a lot to spread, or is a little to spread over the top of this, but looks good to me. Alrighty, so if you guys can see, just gave it a little raspberry jam on top. I'm gonna go take a picture and I'll be back. And we're back. I've broken my piece here. I cut it into 12 slices, gave the crew their own piece that they waited so long for. Uh-oh, here it comes. I haven't even tasted it yet.
You don't have to. You can give me your piece.
I plated my pretty piece for the blog. So there's that. And I'm about to take my bite now. Addie exclaimed that it tastes like peanut butter and jelly. Does it?
I concur.
You concur. Okay, here we go. Oh my.
Oh no.
It's creamy like cheesecake, but it definitely has peanut butter and jelly flavors. Oh, that's awesome.
It's buttery.
Was it worth hiking 7 miles and waiting 2 days for?
I don't know about the waiting 2 days part, but I'd hike another 7 miles for this.
Yes.
And here's the best part though, it's low carb, so if you don't hike 7 miles, you have to feel bad.
Good job, George Stella, on this peanut butter crust.
You go, George.
The flavor's great.
Oh no.
The raspberry jelly is really good.
There's one problem. I'm out.
Yes, there's a whole cheesecake. That's the problem, is there's a whole cheesecake and it's a low carbers treat. We can't eat the whole thing, so we're gonna have to.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go hike another 7 miles.
So, but no, it's really good. I really like the jam on top.
That crust down below is really good.
And I think this would cook up just about the same way as our other cheesecake. So, like I said, we used the bake feature on our multi-cooker. So it only took an hour for it to set. It might take a little bit longer for you, depending on your unit and where you're at. And always say where the moon is in the sky and all that kind of stuff. Like, it can be different for all kinds of reasons. But if you're doing this slow cooker style, it probably will take around 3 hours. Like I said, I'll link down below. Or we may even, you know, for the sake of science, have to test out this particular recipe as slow cooker as well, just to confirm. So there's that. But highly recommend the peanut butter crust. If you don't want it peanut butter, just leave the peanut butter out of that step and still use the same crust ingredients. I'd highly recommend the melted jam on top. Even that little fourth of a cup just spread over there gives it a lot of flavor.
You don't need much.
That's really great. So thank you for joining us today, guys. If you like this video and our adventures, please give us a thumbs up. If you're not already a member of the Crock Posse, please subscribe down below and you will become a member of our slow cooking family. And what is it we say now, dear?
Laugh often.
Eat good food.
And speak life.
Bye, guys.
Excuse me. I hiked 7.5 miles.
Dude! Excuse me?
It's my house.
It's my cheesecake.